Alright folks, just want to spend a few minutes here talking about a flashlight that was kind of an accidental pickup for me. It is the Olight M3XS-UT Javelot, and that's a lot of words to, to describe a flashlight. But it kind of makes some sense because the word Javelot is the French word for javelin. And when you think about flashlights, there's really two different types of flashlights. There's flashlights that have a lot of flood, and there's flashlights that have a lot of throw. And so when you think about it, a lot of flood is like a floodlight on your house. It lights up a big wide area. It disperses its lumens across a wider field. When you have a flashlight that has a lot of throw, it's more of a concentrated beam that shoots pretty far. In the case of this particular flashlight, it's rated to throw at 1,000 meters or a kilometer, and that is pushing the upper edge of what a production flashlight can do. I'm not really sure there's any flashlights right off the shelf without modification that can do that. So when I saw that this was available to pick up, they just started hitting dealers within the last 2-3 weeks. I jumped on it and I went ahead and I ordered it. And so far I seem pretty happy with it. I just got it today, so I haven't really had a chance to get it outside yet. Just shooting it around the house in the basement and stuff like that. But I'm just talk a little bit about some of the features and some of the components of this flashlight, and tell you why I ordered it. This is an upgrade from previous versions of the M2 and the M2 UT Javelots, in that it has a tail cap and a side cap that allow you to switch through modes. When you turn it on, you can go straight to strobe, like that, or you can use, it has memory, so it remembers what you were on last. So it has a low, a medium, and a high, and we'll go through the ranges. And I know I just flooded the camera out pretty bad. And then there's also a Moonlight Mode on it, but see if I can figure that one out real quick. There it is. But you can see it's a very concentrated beam right in the center here. Enough of that, I don't want to flush it out. And when you take a look at this flashlight, it's very deep, the LED, which is down in there, and that really helps give it a lot of throw. I'm surprised that this flashlight doesn't have more and bigger heat sinks on it, because I would think that it would get pretty hot pretty fast. I think it's rated at 1,200 lumens, and let's take a look at the packaging and some of the data sheet that comes with it. So like most of Olight's products, they come in these pretty fancy plastic cases, and it has some of the specifications on the outside of the case. So in its turbo mode, 1,200 lumens, and that says it goes for 5 minutes, and after that it'll drop down for 55 minutes at 60%. And what's important to realize here is this is an ANSI rating, and when you take a look at that, these tests were performed with 3 CR123A batteries, 3 volts, 1,500 milliamps per hour. This flashlight comes with an extension tube, which I have installed, and I have 2 18650 batteries at 3,400 milliamps per hour, and I'll show you those in a couple seconds. Then it tells you your various modes. So mode 2, 600 lumens, low mode is 80, and then the Firefly or Midnight mode is the one I showed you last, which is a 3, and that can go 360 hours, 12 hours, and 1.5 hours respectively. The Candela rating is 250,000, which is pretty high, but it talks about the concentration of the beam, and quite frankly, I'm not well versed enough to really explain what that is. Still trying to learning more about throwing flashlights, and so that's one of the reasons I picked this up. Here's where it talks about going out to 1,000 meters. Its impact resistance, 1 meter high. And this tells a little bit about specs. 8 1/3 of an inch. The bezel diameter is 2.5 inches, give or take. And it weighs 9 ounces without batteries in there. So when you take a look at this, it comes with a couple of different things, and I think I might have opened this wrong. So it comes with obviously a marketing guide for some other products. What appears to be a pretty nice sheath. And I typically don't carry flashlights around in a sheath, but this is one that potentially might get used. Let me move this out of the way so you can really see what the sheath looks like. And I guess you just slide this baby in there a little bit, and this will come over and snap. It has a D-ring that you can attach to like a drop carrier, or you could use this for a belt. I typically, like I said, don't use these sheaths, but in the case of this flashlight, just maybe I will. It also comes with a sleeve and this is if you were going to use like a CR123, which is a little bit skinnier of a battery than an 18650. It comes with a couple extra O-rings as well. But it's a pretty nice case. Let's get that out of here. When I take this tail cap off, in this configuration, I can run it off of two 18650s, or I can put four CR123s in there. You can also take this off, at which point you can operate this flashlight with three CR123s. And if you do that, it might make sense to put this adapter sleeve in there so you get less rattle in your flashlight, and then you just go ahead and put this tail cap on there. It gives you a much shorter flashlight, still with a lot of capability. The reason that I'm not going to do that is I want to put two 18650s in there so I can get longer run times with the higher milliamp ratings on these batteries. It'll last a little bit longer for me. And I'm pretty happy about that. Anyhow, that's really it. I just wanted to do a quick show and tell of the flashlight. It's made quite well. The machining and the knurling on the handles are very grippy, and it seems to be very consistent all the way across the flashlight, and at appropriate depth and grip, where it's comfortable but it's not aggressive, so it would hurt your hand. You do have some crenulation across the bezel, but this is not a strike bezel. This is not something that you want to use in a defensive or tactical situation. And then it also has a recessed tail cap, so it will do a tail stand. I'm not really sure that this is the kind of flashlight that you'd want to do that with. But anyhow, that's it. Really just want to do a quick show and tell. Thanks, everybody.